Attorney General Emeritus, Justin MUTURI. Please, don't be as brief as the ambassador. Don't be as brief as the ambassador.
Exactly.
He was too brief.
Thank you to the family of His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, the organizing committee, the panelists, and all of us that have attended this second lecture. Good afternoon. I'll try to copy Ambassador Mudaura. But let me say this, and indeed I intend to be extremely brief, because many people may not think, when I speak in the presence of Norman Nyaga, my good friend Mzee Joe Consolo Munyao, when I claim to be old, they always laugh at me. They think I'm a small boy. Now that I'm also claiming to be old, in that for the longest time, even when I was a young man, Norman, even as a student in high school, there's only one person in the Kenyan political leadership that I always loved to one day meet. It was President Mwai Kibaki. But because we have been told quite some exciting stuff by the panelists, Mzee Munyao, and now Ambassador Mudaura, I want to just pick one point, not about his eloquence and his capacity to debate any topic in Parliament, which I found quite unique, but it's something that I think, for me, I emulate from President Mwai Kibaki. We've talked about the many gifts that he has left this country. Talked about Vision 2030. And my worry is just that as it comes to an end, we may get into some darkness. His Excellency RIGATHI has always been telling people that whenever it gets very dark, it's just about dawn. You're just about to get to some light. But I fear for the country if it gets too dark. This document that at every time, and it's a dictator, before you take up any state job, you must swear by the Constitution to defend it, to uphold it, to protect it. As my brother Eugene pointed out, dedicated the whole chapter 6. But know what? Actually, you don't need to read chapter 6. You just need to follow the public life of the longest serving member of parliament so far in this country, Mwai Kibaki. Chapter 6 is on leadership and integrity. How it is that somebody could have been in public life, in politics, that long, and to date, you don't hear anybody saying, oh, they planned this, they planned Thika Highway, but in the process of planning Thika Highway, there was this which was supposed to sort out some things. This, for me, is extremely important. Even as we read that chapter 6 on leadership and integrity. We've been told about ICT. How I wish we all in leadership could borrow a leaf that when we come up with projects public projects, we don't do so because we have hidden private interests in there. Because virtually everything we do these days, as you go through the documents, you come to realize, oh, there's something here which is not very clear. How is it that President Mwai Kibaki went through it, Minister for Finance, Minister for Health, Assistant Minister, but you can't hear. And in those very critical dockets, to date, you cannot see or hear what we hear today. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, whether you read chapter 6, read about President Mwai Kibaki to know what it is. When we talk about good governance, when we talk about integrity in public leadership, in office, you just need to read the history of Mwai Kibaki. Then you can read chapter 6 as kind of a lullaby, because when you read the history of Mwai Kibaki, then integrity in public leadership, in public office, will become so clear to you that you don't need to read anything else. Many of you, I'm sure, are religious people, either Muslims or Christians or Hindus. You know, virtues, the virtues of integrity, honesty. I think there's a lot that we can learn just by reading the life of President Mwai Kibaki, because it amazes me how somebody could have been in leadership, rising to the highest office, and you still cannot hear anything, not touching even on his family, not touching not even his close friends. It speaks volumes. That is the legacy of Mwai Kibaki that I live with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Tumeshukuru sana. Ambassador Mudaura talked about housing that Mwai Kibaki did, and it triggered my mind when William Ruto brought the affordable housing and there was outcry out there. People are saying they'd be left alone to do their own houses. And I had a conversation with him, and he says, no, we need houses. And I told him, Mwai Kibaki did a lot of housing, but not the actual construction. The government did not have a housing program. All Mwai Kibaki did was to open up the bypasses, provide infrastructure in terms of sewage, electricity, and water. And the private sector, on its own, build houses all over Nairobi. And they are there for everybody to see. There is no need for government to compete with the private sector to put up houses. The work of government is not to do houses, it's to provide services. And of course, he said, I'm not Mwai Kibaki, I will do things differently. So one of the things we intend to do, those of us who are like-minded who want to have a regime change in 2027, is to scrap the housing levy and reinstate the housing initiative to the private sector by government just providing services. Just do roads, water, open up, and things will just come up on their own. Again, I must say, I went to see Mwai Kibaki in 1988. I was a student leader at the University of Nairobi. I was the chairman of the Nyeri University Student Association. And through my then member of parliament, the late Mwai, I sought an appointment to see the vice president, and I went to his office in Jogo House. And We had a lot of discussion, and he wanted to know what are my ambitions, and I told him I'm interested in business. I had thought he would give me some money to start the business. Not Mwai Kibaki. He went on his shelf, behind him, there were many books. And he looked through, produced one book and gave it to me. That book, the author is called Jonathan Black. It's called The Oil. He said, if you want to do business, go and read this book, you'll be a good businessman. That is his mentorship, and today I'm a good businessman, instead of tokenism. Judy, please work quickly to finish the mausoleum in Othaya, because much as we are having this ceremony here, the villagers back home would like to celebrate Mzee, and they would like to come and remember him. And since we cannot bring them here to Nairobi to listen to Professor Kagwanja and foreign policy, they would just like to come to Othaya just to remember the old man for what he did for the people of Othaya, for what he did for the people of this country. Professor Kagwanja, thank you. On the foreign policy, you have told us Mwai Kibaki, his foreign policy was based on the best interest for this country. The other day I talked about our foreign policy in Sudan that is driven by commercial interest. And I saw one of the RUTO flower girls yesterday trying to lecture me that I shouldn't talk about it because I sold to some constitution. The constitution that I and Muturi sold to is to do the right thing and to keep the law. It's not to enable other countries to buy arms to kill children. And Eugene Wamalwa, you know, we are looking at what is happening about Butere girls. We are unable to understand what is this viciousness against children by the present government. Even the colonial government that was very brutal, it never went for the children. Muzungu, they were very brutal, but they spared the children. So we have seen a situation where an administration has panicked because this one term is becoming real. So they have gone berserk. They have gone berserk, and they are now fighting shadows, including schoolgirls. From 2 girls, from 3 girls. These are harmless girls. How fluid is your government if girls can bring it down? Girls. Surely. You know. So when you look at the situation in the Sudan, we are allowing gold to be processed in Kenya and guns to be smuggled through Nairobi to go and kill children in the Sudan. So we are asking, what is this bile against young children? We saw the killing of the Gen Zs, the abductions of young children. What is this bile against innocent young children? So as we move on, let's pray for the country. And Ambassador, again, to shukuru wewe. Now I'm looking at General Gachangi here, and I want to say, if General Gachangi was the director of NIS, that play would not have been banned in Nakuru if it had to be banned. Because it came all the way from the sub-county, nobody noticed. It went to the county, nobody noticed. It went to the region and it became number 3, nobody noticed. They only noticed about it in Nakuru, in the finals, because of a failed intelligence system. You know, that will not happen. So if a decision needed to be made that is a bad play and people should not see it, ingesimamishiwa huko mbali, because the officers on the ground every day, lakini watu wote wamelala, kila mtu anatafuta pesa. Hii serikali ni ya biashara. Watu ya intelligence wanatafuta biashara, watu ya polisi wanatafuta biashara, rais mwenyewe anatafuta biashara. Sasa, you know, these are things that would make Mwai Kibaki turn in his grave. You know, tuko na shida kubwa, lakini Mungu anatusaidia. So Jacob Haji, we are forming a political party in May. Tutatangaza. We look for a way to work with the Democratic Party we would like to be associated with Mwai Kibaki and what he achieved. Wacha ni introduce huyu Ketu Arugoro, simama, pigia makofi. Huyu mrembo ya Laikipia. Then we have our daughter. She's called Gatha in Kikuyu land. The Honorable Gathoni wa Muchomba. Tuko na Masi Kakuya, alikuwa mjumbe hapo Kasarani. She has been associated with this party for a long time. Of course, tuko na Norman Nyaga na wengine, na tumeshukuru sana, and the organizers of this function, we are honored. Tuko na Jane Kihara, the great lady of Naivasha. Alichaguliwa as an MP kwa hii chama ya Democratic Party. She's a third member, ako kwa tamu ya 3. Na nikali anaangushaga wanaume 7 kila uchaguzi. Wote wanaweka chini. These strong women, they are strong people. So tumeshukuru sana, and thank you very much, and asanteni sana Ambassador Muthaura and your team that supported Mwai Kibaki. We honor you because you made him great by serving him well and helping him to steer this country, even as he advanced in age. You know, his things were going very, very well. But again, it is him who gave you the opportunity and allowed you to work. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Haya, mupige makofi. The people deputy president. Sio ndio hiyo? Yeye sio mtu kuandikwa, alichaguliwa na wananchi. Simpige makofi basi tusikie. Haya, asante sana. Now hata mimi mnipigie sasa makofi sababu nimemaliza shughuli yangu. I'll now hand over to Juma kuja chukue takeover.
Secretary General DP. A round of applause for all that third session. We had great minds. People have taken us down the history line, and we really, really appreciate. There are 2 people between us and lunch, and I'll kindly request them to be very, very brief. Our chairman DP and the party leader. Tafadhali. Chairman first, perhaps the party leader.
Asanteni sana. Mimi sita commit your offense going against the constitutional right of the stomach. So I will be very, very, very brief. I don't want to be accused for that. Yangu kumutakia heri, mwambia asanteni for being that patient up to now. Mengi has been spoken about Mwai Kibaki. I used to be his security advisor, for those who don't know. And I used to be very close to him. And I come from Odaya. Kibaki, for wale wote wameongea, I haven't heard anyone saying that Kibaki was a difficult person. Because he was very difficult but very diplomatic. Hakuwa mtu yakuwa moved just like that. Even ministers, when they came to talk to him, alikuwa na washiria hawa wanaongea. He would never stop you akwambie, you don't know your ministry, I know your ministry better than you. Never. He would never say it. Lakini, mwisho he would just suggest, tukiongeza hii au tuache hii itakuwaje? Where do you answer your question? Na wakati umeongea, and you speak all the through, yeye mwenyewe alikuwa na kitabu kidogo kama hii. Anatoa, anaandika. When you meet next, atakuuliza wakati ulikuwa hapa tarehe fulani, anatoa hiyo karatasi, tuliagree on the following. Sasa imefika wapi? Ministers learned about that at that time. They used to come to see him very well prepared, kwa sababu alikuwa anajua atatoa hiyo karatasi kwa mfuko yake. Hata mliona siku nyingine huko Mombasa akitafuta hiyo karatasi kwa mfuko kwa mfuko yake huko Gema. He didn't know where he had put them. Yale ingine I would like to confirm is what Mheshimiwa GACHAGUA amesema. He wanted people to work. Because I remember one time when we were coming from London after hospitalization, tukapita Njogoo Road. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa namshikilia shingo hivi sababu he had problem with the neck na mkono ingine isianguke. Yeye mwenyewe aliangalia akasema hawa wote watu wamejaa hapa wamekuja because of us. Kamwambia yes your excellency, hawa wote ni watu yetu. Lakini hawa wote wamewasha biashara yao na nani? Ndio wanje kwa barabara. You see, that was the type of a president who cared for production in the country. The same thing he did in Othaya. Aliweza watu wamewasha majani chai, wamewasha kahawa, wamewasha ng'ombe, wamekuja kutuangalia. Who is doing this? They should be in their farms instead of wasting time. Tukama na delegation kubwa kutoka Othaya na Nyeri huko State Road Sagana. You see, hawa walikuja and in their memorandum wakauliza mambo ya pesa. You see, wakauliza mambo ya pesa. Kibaki waliwajibu pesa ni nyingi sana, iko huko bank. You see, si pesa ya bure, pesa iko bank, na mkichukua hiyo pesa kwa bank mfanyie kazi na mrudishie bank pesa yao. You see, hii mambo ya handouts Kibaki hakujua hiyo. No. So that's the sort of man we are celebrating today. The sort of man we are celebrating today. Nilisema he was not that easy. Because I remember one time I told him the convoy would not start until he has his belt, his safety belt on. Aliniangalia akasema nani amesema hiyo? Kamwambia your excellency, I'm the one who has said it. Because hiyo ndio kazi ulinipatia. To look after your security and your safety. And without this belt, without having your belt, a safety belt on, this convoy will not start. Kaniangalia, akaniambia basi, weka. Nikaenda huko nikafuruta, nikamwambia. You see? Siku ingine tukachelewa usiku. Tukitoka Meru. Kusika Mrs. Mwiraria. Tulitoka huko saa 1 usiku. Kufika Embu communications was tukakutana na hailstorm, mvua kubwa, storm kubwa. All communication lost. Sasa sisi wengine tulikimbia Sagana tutafute, so we could not see each other, we could not communicate. Tulikuwa Mwai na Sagana looking for him, alikuwa Thika tayari. So I knew I was in trouble. So the following day I went to his office. Kamwambia, sir, effective today, you will never travel after 6:30. Aliniangalia akasema, tena hiyo umetoa wapi? Kamwambia, sasa, your excellency, this is what I know. In a round over, no VIP travels after 6:30. Sababu 6:30, from 6:30 ni usiku. Sema hapana. Jua iko hapa tu. Na unasema ni usiku namna gani? Kambia no, 6:30 begins at 6:30. Usiku begins at 6:30. Hata katiba, hata sheria imesema. If you break into a house before 6:30, you'll be charged with house breaking. I was explaining to him. Lakini, if you break into a house after 6:30, you'll be charged with the burglary. And burglary, nabeba, serious penalty. I had to explain to him, and he agreed on that. From that time, we never traveled again after 6:30 at night. because it's very dangerous and risky. So kwa hivyo, that is the man we are talking about today. And that's the man who has brought us here today to remember him for all what he did for this country. Alifanya mengi, asanteni. Sasa, from there on, I think you are free. Tuende tutafutie the inner man, his benefits. Asanteni na asanteni, muende salama na mujienjoy. Asante.
Asanteni sana. A round of applause for all of you. Thank you. I think the party leader has left it to the chair. So I think I'm humbled to have an audience with you. I apologize for overshooting the time. And the party leader has to say one more word.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon again. I know the stomachs are talking, but the acting Democratic Party of Kenya party leader is talking as she prepares what you are to eat after this. May I welcome you for our second Mwai Kibaki Memorial Lecture and Lunch. My name is Veronica Waithera Maina. I am the Democratic Party acting party leader, but the confirmed deputy party leader. I'm only keeping brief for my brother, Honorable Justine MUTURI. He's my elder brother. I'm only keeping brief for him, and since now he has been told that he's incompetent, I think the party knows he's competent. So karibu brother kuja tufanye kazi. He's competent. According to the party, he's very competent. And that is why DP has been here up to this point. You know, he whispered to me some 2 years back and told me, take care of the party. And I have done so. My brother, the party is intact. So come back, we start now moving around as we did. It's our weakness. Now, as we close this ceremony, I want to appreciate the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And as we draw this special afternoon to a close, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us at the second Mwai Kibaki Memorial Lecture and Luncheon. Today has been more a remembrance. It has been a celebration of a visionary leader, an economist par excellence, a statesman whose legacy continues to inspire not only Kenya, but the entire Africa and globally, as we could say. We have had thoughtful reflections, powerful insights, and heartfelt tributes that have reminded us of President Kibaki's enduring impact. His commitment to education, some of us are beneficiaries, economic empowerment, good governance, and national unity. His life was a testament to integrity, intellect, and quiet but determined leadership. That's how we used to call him chairman. That's how we took our chairman. And may God, the angels, take care of him because he was a good man. To our esteemed speakers, Professor Michael Shege, who was our moderator, Professor Peter Kagwanja, who was the chairman to our organizing committee, Professor Vudha Kibwana, Dr. Muhisa Kitui, Honorable Mother Karua, who could not be with us today. She's out of the country, but she was part of the planning, and the delegation from the UN. Thank you for your wisdom and for keeping President Kibaki's legacy alive through dialogue, reflection, and aspirations. To the organizers, those are the sponsors. We have the organizing committee, the Democratic Party officials led by JB Muturi, and NEC members. We also have the Democratic Foundation. We have a foundation that was started by our founder, who is Mwai Kibaki. We have a foundation. And then the Kibaki family. Judy, thank you. The many times we've met here. it is not in vain that you really loved your father. May his soul rest in peace. Okay, special thanks to our former vice president who worked with our president, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, for gracing the occasion, and he worked very closely with him. I also extend my gratitude to immediate, because I feel very wrong saying immediate former, not former. The people elected president, his deputy president, His Excellency RIGATHI GACHAGUA, popularly known as Rigi, for honoring the invitation and making this occasion very special. I remember he was supposed to be on other commitments, but he said if it's Kibaki's memorial, he will put aside everything else and be with us. Thank you, Our Excellency, for doing that. I also want to give special thanks to former AG, the immediate former CS, public service, and I've just said that being told that he's incompetent, I'm on live TV and I want to say, to DP, he's not incompetent. He's what DP has been where we are today. So don't even think about anything that can deter you from moving along. We know you, we know how you can push. DP, come back, we start working. He resigned when he was going to the government, and because you know very well, you cannot be in government and lead a political party. So he only left and whispered to me, take care of the party. And I have done so, my brother. As we part ways, let us carry forward our President Kibaki, lived by service, humility, and steadfast belief. I also appreciate the coming of our members of parliament present, former members of parliament present also, and I will conclude with wise words from President Kibaki. Leadership, and I want us to listen to these words, leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. It is not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed, and I will underline the last three words. May his memory continue, inspire generations, and give hope to all Kenyans, because that is why we are here. You are all welcome to serve lunch. As we organize for a photo session, I will invite Professor Kagwanja to come in front. He's the moderator on that. And may you travel safe. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed weekend. And today is, I would say in Kiswahili, Mwamko Mpya. Thank you. Sorry, I recall